and our lovely trio, number 3, that perfect number for some of us, as we close on out our first episodes of the new year 2025. If you're new, welcome aboard. I highly ask you to tune on in at least to the first episode of the day. It's 10 minutes because that way you can understand the gist of where we're coming from and why the 5D collective are all people who are going to be in adult relationships that heal and that pursue healthy self-mindful life, as well as true lover life partners. So as we discussed, one, empowered feminine here, you have your own empowered feminine and masculine when you're empowered. When you're not empowered, that's a whole different story, and we're going to leave that alone. But at the end of the day, empowered or not, we all can be seen by the outside as a siren and therefore a villain, because they think of the siren as a villain. Temptress, femme fatale, right? Or the lover. So external opinions do not matter. When you are a securely attached inner world, we talk about Patrick Tiahan. He shares with us something valuable today, and that's in our other episode, but that's a little bit longer. So if you don't tune into that one, you won't hear it. But again, it's common sense. I could be considered a siren. I'm a 5D mystic in the Enlightenment Soul Age group. I'm a functional adult. I'm a Reiki master. I'm a lovely Akashic record reader, tarot card reader. I come with a background, Jesus, God, Holy Spirit. My Christian Catholic catechism, yes. Guess what? Not everybody of the Holy Spirit thinks that I'm of the Holy Spirit. Does that affect me? No, it makes me sad. Not affect me, because I learned as a child how to stand up for me when adults manipulate their words, because my mother taught me how to say, no, how to spot it, and then to behave in the most equanimous and non-reactive of manners, because that's what it's called, to be a human being who gets taught how to be equanimous by the very same grown-up who says, okay, they talk to you like this, you come tell me, and remember to be respectful, because we don't stoop low down to whatever those mannerisms are. No hands. Hands are only for people who don't know how to use their mouth. No shouting. You can use a better tone. There you go. Determined. Robert Sapolsky tells us we have no free will. So, I mean, with his story, I could tell you all about why Maria gets to share with you all the gooiness and the love that Jesus taught me in God and Holy Spirit, and why those in cloaks, I don't care about the fact that they're ignorant, because I'm not their therapist and I can't make them go. And God told me to leave alone the 0-1-year-old and the human suffering love narrative people. Basically, to mind my own business, like my mother informed me too. And the therapist also informed me. I can't make you want to heal your childhood trauma. And I won't be saying you're a coward in a way, let me insult you. No, you're a coward because you're leaving your 0-1-year-old and your 3-7-year-old to be traumatized, and the people who want to support it, doesn't matter what they wield from their mouth, however scientific they think they are, I'm going to be like, haha, no, I'm in favor of healing all trauma, because your body is smarter than what's coming out of your left mode, which is the not empowered masculine, and it's not an empowered feminine. No, I know I got a teenager in the room, and that's why I'm not going to say you're a siren like the 4D mystics call you, or that you're an energy vampire or a dark aura, because you're not. You're simply what is called an adaptive child pattern of behavior of yourself, Diego's family, Cusco, and you have maladaptive patterns, and you support unhealthy self-soothing with each other, as well as Diego's family manners. And none of you learn how to have healthy self-worth. In fact, I get told, you could be more flexible. With who? We're not decent enough to be saluted? No, not at all, because I consistently communicated in 3 whole years what my mother taught me. If you can't say something nice, shh. Say nothing. I didn't say a word. I didn't say a peep. I disengaged with this human being completely, and they came and an entire evening decided, with their desperate, manipulative, low self-esteem in the unhealthy, not boundary person, with anxiety, anxious. Terry Rio has a great scale. That's where he fits. He fits on the bottom of it. As he desperately manipulated his words, as he turns around towards me and says, I'm not decent enough to be saluted, and I'm like, oh shit. My 3-year-old's like, now what? I have to play nice, that's what. Because I'm out and I'm a grown-up and I'm not an active 3-year-old, and he's not doing anything. So there's the story. Enough about that story, but my point is, my mother, in fact, reiterated, you didn't tell him you didn't like him in his face. That's not nice. No, Mom, I didn't tell him behind my back, his back, or my back. I just didn't talk to him. And after 3 consistent communicative years, FYI, my men friends let me know that I'm an object. Other men let me know that if I were to fuck every man, apparently they might think that I'm disgusting and hold me in disgust and contempt and then shame. very fascinating. To say the least, I'm thinking therapy for that man and all the women and anyone who speaks on screen, something like that. But that man thinks he doesn't need one. In fact, he actively wears fancy suits, so there's a fancy woman. And let me remind you all, the 3D, 4D ain't going anywhere. I thought they would, but they like their silverbacks. They don't want to go to therapy and get themselves securely attached. No, because as she points out, it's inherently not enlightenment or healthy to be non-reactive. How dare they? It's dangerous to show no emotions. No, you're not showing no emotion, you fool. It's your non-reactive nervous system, which you obviously don't know how to engage. Kind of like the Zen master, though, who doesn't know how to engage in it either. So when you meet a half a brain, you're going to know who they are. They lack the self-awareness, accountability, and regulation skills to notice, well, we're not all inherently good or evil, no, and really we need to stop blaming Lucifer for what is unhealed, unresolved, and ignored trauma and maladaptive child pattern of behaviors. It's unfortunate business because they need healthy self-worth people to remind them. Okay, we're going to do this thing. It's called moderation. Okay, so here's for our lovers. I'm done teasing everybody that we're teasing, those who don't want to become their grown-up version. Like with the essence still alive. I'm alive, I'm alive. So we're all Pinocchio, the real Pinocchio, after everything. And everybody has a story and we'll share it all together at our spirituality retreats. But in the meantime, it's not a pain point where we're like, oh, I'm dragging myself around. It's so hard to get here. No, that's not what we do. The ones who are an inspiration say, yeah, I'm waking up and I'm being reminded, and they talk, that they actually use their voice. That's very amazing, the ones who are authentic, because now I'm still thinking of these 4D mystics. Okay, I have to share. Please give me a minute for my community, because I've been dying. This one, she's just like, wow. I can't even begin to say, wow, ego. I mean, the way that anointed human beings will have made their clairs become their superhero mantles. I'm like, wow, how do you not notice you're all ego? Because the minute that you're writing something like this and you're not, in fact, I'm just going to have to read it. You were gifted the gift of being chosen. We are the chosen ones. What shall I say? Oh my gosh, I'm so honored. I'm chosen. I'm chosen. You know who wants to be chosen? Me, 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 me. I'm a 3-year-old. Mom, 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 come see me. Please come see me. I'm so alone right now. I'm not joking with y'all, and I'm pretty sure the 4D won't really like me if they ever come across any of my content. Immediately when I don't like you, because you know what happens when a 3-year-old doesn't get the attention they want. Oh my gosh, I'm going to go on a roll on this one. This is funny though. Hold on, give me a minute. I'm at the airport. I'm talking to a woman who desperately wants adult interactions because she has children. And one child, actually. I don't know where the other ones, if she has more. But the point is, this was in a time when I realized how many of women would like to have adult conversations when, rightly so, they only have children around them all day long. So she's just chit-chatting with me, but her 3-year-old doesn't want her to be chit-chatting. And this is such a cute kid. And I'm all in favor of the kid getting all the attention because that's feminine. But see, that's why I have empowered masculines. Okay, I am too much of the feminine, and I have no what's the word, I have no shame saying it. I will baby out of any child, meaning that I would not be able to be that, let me say no, like it, that just no. I need the empowered masculines because they have the soft touch, and then they have the capacity to be smart enough to know what's physically okay and emotionally and mentally. You know, they won't shame the kid, you know what I mean? And so that's the beauty when you find the empowered masculines, by the way. And that is really amazing. Let me pause. So that's what you can expect for your future empowered feminines, are the empowered masculines. And I was thinking about this guy who gives information on how we'll know what an empowered masculine, in this case man, okay, that's not gender specific, but the way he said how you'll know how your kids will be treated is how the man will treat you, the woman, which is very important. When you see a man strangling a woman, pretend on screen as he's being interviewed by a woman, and he's speaking words of, this is another podcast person, I don't even know where they get them, but he's speaking to the interviewee who's a woman, and he's saying, yes, every man needs to be able to strangle his woman. They need to be smaller than him, and she needs to know that he can overpower her. And I don't even know what the rest is because I'm just listening to the guy who's commenting. He's an empowered man, and he's like, this is scary. I have 2 daughters. And I'm like, yeah, this is not something new to me, which is why I don't go around fucking just any man. I'm going to pick you on purpose if I want to. And if I don't, I'm going to make sure to stay away from you or have my men friends with me, because at this point, again, men, you're not safe. I mean, I'm 44. I will not be saying that any of you are safe, especially when I see a woman interviewing a man like that and not thinking twice to say, excuse me, what? Come again? Are you serious? Because there are women who want to be strangled. So, again, there are women who will say, wedding bells, don't think it after getting fucked. And you're like, wow, where did you come from? You don't have empowered men friends, do you? I do. They made sure that I would know, hey, don't trust a man. In fact, here's another kicker. When you get the friends who like to bring their mood because they're having shitty stuff with relationships. Yeah, this happened to me actively. So they've been bitter because of shit happening, not to mention that I give good advice. I mean, excuse me, should I say don't know? I give good advice. And I said, look, like to women, these are not emotionally available. I use different words. I still said, and this doesn't sound like a good relationship. Okay, so I was sharing my tidbits like with my facade friend. My facade friend never wished upon me what this human being did. This human being just spit out in one of the most amazing moments of my life, the most horrible shit. But again, I'm used to teenagers because that's what all teenagers were, and I learned how not to take it personally because, unkind mannerisms are not something that I'm like, oh my God, it's so impressive that you're such an asshole. No, it's more like, wow, my mother taught me that manners matter and you don't have any. So whether it was a woman, a man, it doesn't matter. You don't know manners, and God told me also that I'm going to be nice to you, but not that I subject myself to you at all. No. So this man basically informs me that I'm just a sex object, so not to expect anything. Oh, and he decided to make a bet. He said, I bet you $1 that he's going to break up with you. And I did call him back to say, yeah, you know what? I owe you money, but I wasn't going to call you because that's the type of person I am. And my friend, well, he did apologize, and again, it wasn't really an apology. It was just more like, yeah, I was in a really bad mood. And I was like, yeah, I know. That's why I didn't take it personally. But I really wasn't going to call you because you're really not nice at all. And that was really not nice. But again, we do share stories. Please do know there's no, oh my God, he owes me something. No. But of course, there's a difference with people who are self-aware to the extent of coming at you from a depth. So I'm going to try and explain to you something, because see, all my facade friends, I love them to death, this one included, and I know what a mood is because I can have a mood too, which is why it's not a characterological distinction or judgment. I won't be saying my friend's a bad friend. Others would say that. No, he's a friend. And he's like any other facade friend that I have who doesn't go to therapy and doesn't care to. I'm not joking right now, okay? This is, if you ask me to give you that, yeah, anyone who doesn't go to therapy and work with their mood, I know who they are, because they will bring in their insecurity, their 0-1-year-old, through whatever it is and whatever shit happened, without ever once considering how they're speaking to somebody, because they're biologically rude, as Stephen Porges would point out. And they in fact don't give a shit, because if they did, they wouldn't come at a conversation like that. And here's where Terry Real will explain to you what an adaptive child does. Unbridled self-expression. Excuse me, you're confusing science with spirituality. Very rigidly, they will control the conversation to the way that they want it to go, and then they will lead you down a path. And if you don't agree with them, well, then, shit hits the fan. Well, it depends. I don't actively have any of those shits hit the fan because I notice a thing or two about the nervous system. Also, I don't talk to just anybody, because that's the minute that, again, as you get all spiky and upset, I'm going to begin to dial it down, and then I'm going to leave it alone, unless we have a relationship. And when I do, those are my empowered men and women. And so with that, though, this being chosen just makes me think of any one of us as a child who wanted to be held first, or wanted, to be held, and there you go. So it's not very hard to know what 4D mystics and 3D group is. Again, it's not bad people. It's just people who don't take seriously getting themselves to therapists because they think that it's unnecessary. And the reality is, again, variety in the world. But true lovers and life partners, definitely, as we move into a healthy self-worth environment with a lot of smart human beings, yes, we don't need to keep blaming Lucifer or saying people have bad anythings. Not necessarily. I know some people like to use those words. I don't, but sometimes they'll make me. So if they make me, I know how to organize anything, because the reality is, if you know how to use your Prefrontal, great. If you're a Zen master with laundry, bad. You're bad. You don't know how to be Zen master. You fail. I'm gonna fail you. Do I need to score? Oh, I can score if I have to. But see, I don't want to play God because that's not who I am. But if I have to, but I won't be. You see. So those who are still here, great. Let's get focused because I used a little bit of examples. If I left you hanging with anything, I wasn't planning on doing what I just did and what I shared, but it came through. Meantime, like I said, you can all be a siren to your own self. You can be a lover to your own self. So if you're smart, you're going to stay a lover, and you're going to notice when your own temptations, whatever it is that comes up. I was an ex-smoker, or I was a smoker. I'm an ex-smoker, but I like smoking cigars. I don't go and grab the cigarettes. And that's where people who love me, they always will remind me of staying balanced. And that's why I don't think of it as, oh my God, let me be ashamed of me. No, they love me. And so they're going to support me. Like they can support you to say, don't feel ashamed of it either. But there's always a good balance. Okay, so people who care about each other, they support healthy lifestyle. Healthy lifestyle involves you and your nervous system, because the first thing is you lead every day when you wake up with it. And when you don't learn healthy self-regulation and you choose to stay in a stress response, your health is in the mix, which is also why the fancy lady man in suit, I pick on them. And I wouldn't want to. I really, the woman, I don't even know where she comes from. Honestly, I have not that much, I don't, quote unquote, I'm going to say that I don't think of her as anything much. The man, he's smart. There's so much potential with what he knows and what he can learn and what he can give. So in that respect, actually, I feel and wish that he would stay more open to continuing to evolve, because he has more that he could offer. Instead, I see the limitedness and then the negatives. But again, that's none of my business personally, but also there is a community that enjoys his content completely and believes in what he speaks and wants to live life the way he speaks, like the exact life. Okay, so they don't question or say, wait a minute, some of these, there's none of that. And at the same time, let's not create a black or white thinking, because these individuals, they might have a big following, doesn't mean everybody's living life exactly like them. So sometimes I get carried away when I'm spotting these voices, and what I'm trying to say is that I believe the entire of our globe is more educated and informed on attachment and trauma than it was before, and so we will be heading and are already heading to sweet balance. And so, with that being said, 2025 is something promising for humanity and the expansion of consciousness. And as I do know, some people get really afraid for the environment and all these things. What I can tell you as a mystic, as a person who has a relationship, but just even groundedly speaking. So, groundedly speaking, we have people that come together, smart people, and they're doing their best. We have another group, well, they're doing something that is also their best. And then we can come together and just try to breathe easily. And remember, asteroid, don't hit us, please. We all want to wake up tomorrow, okay? I mean, the reality is grounded humanity, that mystic Maria, I know it's all going to be okay. I'm not kidding. I know it's going to be okay. Why? I saw my future life. There you go. There's your proof. And it was on Earth. And I was leaving Earth. And I'm not kidding. But see, is that really proof? But if you ask me, I know it will be fine. Also, I remember when I was in church, one of the masses, not sermons, one of the masses, because in the Catholic Christian churches we have masses. And I'm hearing is a beautiful, beautiful mass. I love that mass. I still love going to churches. Again, I don't know if ever someone will not have me be welcome. I will respect if ever that happens. But in the meantime, I enjoy when I am at church and when I am with a good priest who's giving a mass. So I'm hearing a mass. And the scripture, I don't remember all of it, but he's reading something, and it's how the planet will look, like something about that future. And I'm like, okay, I had a vision. You all know downloads. I had a download. Immediately as he's speaking, I see. And this is a thing that the 4D Collective are bountiful in sharing of predictions. I'm not. We heard the 2025 prediction is food for thought. I don't use the channel this way, and even with our spirituality retreats and just any 5D mystic, we won't. The community that I'm building will not be doing follow us. We have no, but I can share with you again what a download is, what it looks like, and to explain it to you. And it's more of the regular dissociation that we all have. 80% of people dissociate. So you're driving down down the highway. This is Dr. Daniel Siegel, who's explaining it to me in one of my courses. And you think of your trip to Hawaii and you skip your exit. Okay, so for Maria, downloads, channeling, guidance, all of it, every single one of my clairs, and having a relationship with the shared sphere of consciousness and God and all of it, I can be doing anything and I'll know it's happening. And my brain actually is what I feel and perceive, because I also as a Reiki master, so I'll know when I'm downloading. And so, long story short, I'm hearing the Mass. I'm enjoying the Mass. It's celebrating a person who passed away. And I was like, yeah, that's the future. That makes sense for where we're at. And I won't be sharing more of that because that's the part of where it's unnecessary. But if you have any questions, meaning queries, meaning concerns, I shared with you my 2 cents. It'll be okay. And no, 4D, 3D don't think anything's going to be okay. They got a bunch of shit going on. It's not even funny how I have spotted other types of those who call themselves leaders. And, again, let me leave it alone. So, for true lovers, life partners, again, healthy self-worth, empowered men, empowered women, coming together. Amazing. When you meet empowered masculine, it's amazing. Again, as an empowered feminine, mwah. And the song that came through for those of you who are here, as well as the cards that I have next to me, I'm going to read the song first. Michael Bublé and Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings, Baby, You've Got What It Takes. And all of you do got what it takes to be the best version of you, which is your non-reactive, social engagement, ventral-vagal nervous system state, with your bilateral, vertically integrated brain with the whole self, however long it takes you to get there, because some people need to get there, right? And whatever comes up and stays there, but you get to share it with another. It's not about us all being one note. No, this is not what I'm talking about. People don't understand when I'm bringing the conversations like out in the world that it's not one emotion. It's you in your state of ease because you have the capacity to be in focused attention, as Dr. Daniel Siegel has taught me. 3 pillars of the mind, mindfulness, with mindsight, which he taught me too. I get to also walk you through that vertical stuff. And as Peter Levine points out, because you can contain all that comes up, sensations, images, affects, meanings, behaviors. And as all my teachers from my certificate courses and educational hours means you don't have a window of tolerance that breaks. No, you have a now window of tolerance that you know, which is why our masterclass involves you navigating always in social engagement. Every time you meet a Cusco, your opportunity is to be non-reactive. And however much it takes, if you want, you don't have to, okay? But, well, now, it takes more than a robin to make the winter go. And it takes 2 lips of fire to melt away the snow. Tune on into it if you like it. And remember, I listen to more than the words, it's a tune. That's the vibration that catches my ear. And then the download, it came through for me for the lovers that is in the near future. Well, it takes 2 hearts a cooking to make a fire grow. And baby, you've got what it takes. You know, it takes a lot of kissing to make a romance sweet. Oh, it takes a lot of loving to make my life complete. Ooh, and it takes somebody special to knock me off my feet. And baby, you've got what it takes. So that's how you feel, because it takes more than an effort to stay away from you, and it takes more than a lifetime to prove that I'll be true. Okay, please, pausing. No one needs to be proving to anybody. But obviously, we all come with a past. So yeah, definitely just remember that it's only in time you're going to notice who they are. You want to watch them with their boys, with their girls, with their days. You want to just be able to be aware. And particularly when you are with a person, if you can't be yourself, meaning expand, then you will know that that's not the one for you. It's when you can be yourself, and you also notice when they can be their self, but also obviously you have the same physical romantic attraction, because you can also be your full self with those that are genuine relationships. And that's the capacity for you to understand that there's a difference. So people who are good friends stay in each other's lives as friends. People who are more than just friends build a life more than just friends. And it doesn't matter if you're a monogamous, or polyamorous, meaning that the attraction is twofold when it's more than just friends. If it's only one side, you don't need to be using no unrequited love, suffering stuff. No, this is just not the one. If you're an internally securely attached 1-year-old and want to be. If you don't want to be, then you can make up whatever story you want and treat it like a drama series, which is really unnecessary. But the Zen master does it all the time with his temporal junction. So again, no one, if somebody said I'll prove it to you, the thing I'll say is let's allow time to, I've heard it before is what I would say. And they would laugh, because we all will laugh, because I'm 44, so the only time it might be working for anyone is when you're a teenager and they really prove it to you, which is great for the people who end up in those relationships. I am very happy that I was not the one that ended up. I love my teenage boyfriend, but I'm so happy. The month after, I'm like, okay, I'm saved. No, I said I have better suitors than he ever was, and this is really awesome. But then I said, but we were kids, meaning young, so it actually isn't really fair to say that, because we both didn't know what we were doing, meaning it was our first relationship. So that's how it works when you can keep always these two sides, where it's nope, it's not a siren, it's not a lover, meaning not a good, not a bad, or bad good. The siren obviously is considered the tempter bad, but again, let's not do it that way. Not here at IHP. You can do it that way elsewhere. Neutrality and duality, and then you keep expanding. And like the number 3, we're on a roll. Like my tattoo, the infinity one. It's a double infinity if you haven't ever noticed it. There you go. Okay, so baby, you've got what it takes. Because it takes a lot of effort to stay away from you, and it takes more than a lifetime to prove that all be true. Well, it takes somebody special to make me say I do. And that's the song that came through. And then I was going to, yes, the cards, and then we'll be done for today. Okay, so as life speeds up, because you are very much familiar with where you're wanting to go, you've taken the lead, you're not just acting as if you are grounded in your wholeness. Okay, you're grounded in the lover that you are for yourself. You do know about the parts of you that are your own siren, as well as others. Okay, so you know temptation, and you choose love, and you choose to allow yourself to remember it's not black and white. Okay, so we create healthy boundaries. It always works with all people. You don't need to kick anybody to the curb. That's not what happens. And with the cheetah's speed, you're learning to be more and more of your authentic self in your voice, in your heart, and to be an independent lover, and to have that which is, if some of you, the connection with the anima mundi, others of you, simply put, emergence, this beautiful frequency. And so you're approaching reality with your childlike attitude, innocence and wonderment, and you're watching and celebrating the beauty that unfolds from that place. And your relationship, empowered masculines and feminines coming together in our 5D collective, will be that. It will be full of wonder in an independent, expanding consciousness way, and some of you with mysticism and some of you not, but either or. It's emotional, mental, and physical intelligence, and empowering each other to walk a walk and talk a talk. In my case, like Jesus, God, Holy Spirit, and my mother and my twin and all my family taught me, and continue to, my entire oversoul, your story is your story. So be yourself with flaws and integrity, mindfully and spiritually, and or one or the other, and we'll be back with more. Have a great first day of the new year. Love, like, share, and subscribe, and share with others who you do know are into being their true self and having authentic relationships. Have a good one.